everyone, and welcome to Nerds Talkin'. I'm your host, Nerdy Temmz, future YouTube Let's Play star and all-around awesome, sexy Timmy guy. Joining me this week is Catnick.
Where am I?
Ember.
I sound so much better this week, and I'm so glad.
And Hazel.
Who are you, and why is this paper bag on my head?
Am I the only one here willingly?
Don't question the paper bag. Just read what the the script in front of
you.
Just read the script in front of you and and everything will be fine. Alrighty, well, ladies and gentlemen, this week we will be talking about that one episode where the thing happened and the ponies and Vin Diesel was not in it. Yes.
You forgot about the lack of Charles Manson in it.
Well, I would hope that there would be a lack of Charles Manson in the world. Oh, wait, I got my wish. Relevance. Anyway. No, Rock Hard Friendship. That's the name of the episode, which Kat said earlier, but I
said Stone Cold Friendship.
Oh, you said Stone Cold. I thought you said Rock Hard. This is the episode in which Maud Pie graduates.
Are you sure it's not the one where she pile drives Pinky with a Stone Cold Stunner?
I'm pretty sure that never happened.
Oh.
I've been told to move back from my mic a bit, so I'm just going to relax here. All right, take my pants off. Okay, we're good. In case you guys haven't noticed, this episode is slightly NSFW. Normally we have Ditzy tell us, that at the beginning with a disclaimer, but Ditzy is no longer part of the show.
Oh, we haven't done that once since we rebooted.
Yeah.
No, we have not, and we probably should be horsewhipped.
It's rated R because we're pirates.
Speaking of not safe for work, though.
Yeah. Hi Netflix. Can we have a chit chat, please? Just a little chit chat there, Netflix, about your choice of thumbnail for this episode.
Right?
Hang on, I'm gonna go look at Netflix right now.
Oh, I'm gonna leave the picture. Hold on.
I have several questions.
It's great, isn't it?
Okay. How many rocks? Just how many rocks?
How many?
It's even worse seeing it on the stream.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's almost like Netflix has some kind of some kind of foot fetish.
Or hoof fetish.
Oh. We're going there.
Yeah, but
Brand,
it's just
did you prepare to take your medicine today?
Like, seriously though, I just wanted to point this out because I saw this when getting ready to do the episode and I was just like, holy shit. Good job, Netflix. Good job.
So.
Also, good job to whoever the artist is that decided to make the Netflix thing a reality.
Yeah. We don't know who it was. They were just on Derpy Beer somewhere.
All right, so yes, let's move on. You can go ahead and take that off.
Yeah, I've moved on. Don't worry.
I don't remember what the next topic was. I forgot to pin them.
No, you don't.
God damn it.
Having to scroll up. Oh, I put them on here. I just forgot to.
Oh, there's a pin messages button.
Yeah.
I'm well aware of that.
I pinned the message.
Oh. Well, aren't you just useful?
I'm the producer for a reason.
The producer, the director, Supreme Overlord.
Okay, we lost Hazel for a second, but Hazel is back.
Thanks, Discord.
I'll let Temmz take the Supreme Overlord position. I'm happy with producer.
Okay, so our next topic that is not foot fetish related is that is a weird thing to say on a stream about ponies. That is a really weird thing to have to say on a show about ponies.
Okay, sorry. Hoof fetish. Better.
Hoof fetish, foot fetish.
Lyra probably thinks about it all the time.
Anyway,
Yeah.
our next topic that is not fetish related, unless autism is your fetish. Maud has autism. I mean, this has been a subject that's come up quite a bit, but this episode more or less confirms it.
Yeah. Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure which form of autism you could place her as, because there are different forms.
High functioning.
High functioning?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
because she's perfectly capable of like doing everyday things. She just doesn't
She's
want.
got a Rocktorate for a reason, boyo.
Rocktorate.
Rocktorate. That joke is made so many times for the show too.
Yeah.
Throughout the episode, yes.
The only thing that makes me sad is the Rocktorate wasn't given by Jack Black.
But her behavior throughout this episode definitely leans towards is it Asperger's syndrome?
Asperger's sounds
technically,
right, but
it's
not
just
entirely.
high functioning autism because Asperger's is no longer.
Excuse me?
It's not
Wait.
in the current DSM.
What?
Or whatever.
This is
Yeah.
Fucking excuse me?
I've had like
They
3
merged
different
it.
friends with Asperger's in my entire life.
They merged it into autism. They merged it into autism spectrum disorder.
Well, yeah, Asperger's is on the autism spectrum. Yes.
Yes, I know, but it's no longer considered a separate thing. It's just a form of ASD.
Oh,
wow.
you scared me there. Why is there a South Park picture on the show?
I didn't link it.
I did.
Oh.
It's Asperger's. Come on, Asperger's.
Oh,
Asperger's.
God.
I forgot about that joke. Asperger's. Dare I put that on the stream?
No,
Yes.
I
no,
don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Just
Do
do
it.
it.
no.
Okay. There's
We
got-
are going to alienate so many of our fans, but oh God.
I already feel like an alien.
But I actually I like Maud because very few cartoon characters these days, especially mainstream cartoons, will have mental disorders like this. And lately, or could you call it? It's not really a mental disorder, is it?
It's
Well, being on the spectrum is considered.
Yeah,
it's
kind of.
it is,
Yeah.
It is a disorder by definition.
Am I still loud and clear, by the way?
You're fine.
I just wanted to make sure because I'm leaning like way the fuck back.
You're fine.
But I like I said, I want to applaud Maud. I did it, Prime. I did a Zakora. Because again, not very many characters are ever represented these days in kids' cartoons with real mental issues. And for them to make a fully autistic character, that shows that, again, I've been saying this for years, but this cartoon is evolving. It's getting more familiar with different types of the way the world works.
And it's pretty freaking good at it too.
Yes, it's amazing at it. To the point where I would not be surprised if down the road they actually dare to go the extra mile, and we could actually see a transgender pony at some point.
As a gender
it's not
dysphoric
meaning
person,
that
I
that's-
pretty much hope so.
I'm not meaning that as a mental thing. I'm meaning it as just how far the show has evolved in how they show things. Yes,
I mean,
I can
Really?
English good.
I'm just a bit concerned about how parents might take that, because
Yeah.
I know
That's
I know in a lot of audiences, especially given
Well-
my own family, they'd have a bit of a problem with that.
I'm
I
gonna
think
go
it-
ahead. Go ahead, Kat.
I was gonna say, I think it would be better to relegate that kind of stuff to something that really only either fans would do, like either comics or a book like they did with the lesbian couple.
Right,
if-
I was
if
gonna
they-
say.
If they
I was
handle
gonna
it-
actually mention. I was gonna actually mention just now, Kat. Thank you. That's actually what I was gonna say. Was I'm gonna go ahead and say it that since the books are considered canon, by the way, in some respects. And they actually do have a lesbian couple in the books now. So it goes to show just how far this show is really evolving. And there is talk, now this isn't a spoiler because again it's only talk, that lesbian couple will make their way into the series itself. It's again, I'm calling it not a spoiler because it's only talk and speculation. You know, he said, she said kind of thing. But if they do that, again, please do it, because that's another thing, is not very many shows these days. Actually, a lot of kids, I take it back, a lot of kids' cartoons these days are starting to embrace that the I can't do it.
LGBT?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
LGBTQ society. One of my favorites being Star versus the Forces of Evil. Not only have they had a gay couple kiss on screen in an episode, but they actually have one of the main character's friends has a huge crush on her and is constantly hitting on her and is a girl. So yeah, I mean it just, if Pony could take that step, it would be huge, because Pony is very mainstream and a lot of people watch it. And that's why I said that's why again I applaud them for doing what they did with Maude, because it's bringing awareness to the autism spectrum.
I mean, that's far from the only show to ever show things like that. I mean, you got does the ending to Legend of Korra count?
Is there an autistic character in that?
No,
we're talking about
it's the
lesbian.
lesbian thing. Yeah.
Oh, right. I mean, the ending does and it doesn't, because they don't show anything.
I mean, with how Korra acts, sometimes she might be.
You do know in the very first episode they outright state that Korra is bisexual, right?
Do they?
Yeah, they have her talking randomly, and at one point she says, "You might say I swing both ways." They were hinting that she was bisexual without outright saying it, because of the time that
my friend who's watching it also wants me to point out that apparently the Loud House has some lesbian in it.
does
One
it.
of the sisters, yeah, the rocker.
See, I need to actually watch The Loud House, because I've heard it's
I've-
actually good.
I've never heard of the Loud House.
Fantastic. It's a new show on Cartoon Network, or is it Disney?
I think it's Disney.
There's no way it's Cartoon Network, because all they fucking play is Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
Fuck that
Good
show.
point.
That and that's kind of a sour point for us Steven Universe
Yeah,
fans.
I know.
But I heard somebody yell, "I know" in the background.
That's him. Yeah.
But anyway, the whole point of this was, bravo, My Little Pony, for bringing the spectrum to kids, because they can actually go and they can ask their parents, "Mom, Maud is cool, but why is she like that?" And Mommy can explain, well, little Tiffany, Sue Ann, Jessica, she has autism.
Little Timmy.
Well, little Timmy, she has autism.
I'm just glad that they're giving this whole thing another chance after the whole Derpy fiasco.
Yeah, that's another thing, is they've
Not
evolved
pizza
so
aggressive.
much. I love how excited Derpy was after realizing she got hit by a pizza.
Right? I would be too, not gonna lie.
Like, at first she was like, "Bitch!"
I don't know. It depends if the pizza landed on the ground or not.
I don't, it's Derpy, I don't think she cares. Also, there is pepperoni on that pizza.
I'm
Yeah, there
pretty
is.
Sure that she sees everything.
Or no, those are tomatoes.
Yeah, they're definitely tomatoes.
Oh, yeah,
if
they
you
are
look
tomatoes.
closely, they're definitely tomato.
Wait, so who puts tomatoes on pizza?
Who? The same people that put pineapple on it?
Freaking
Excuse me.
vegetarian.
Both those things are good ideas. I don't care what
Damn it,
anybody
San
says.
Francisco, you ruined pizza.
Inside Out. Hard to believe that movie is 2 years old now.
That is tomatoes.
Anyway, thank you, My Little Pony, for bringing the spectrum to light. You're awesome, as always. I almost went into a Markiplier right there.
You mean he does more than just scream at scary video games now?
Well, I mean, I almost did the, as always, this is Markiplier. No, Derpy eating pizza. She's so cute.
I'm sorry, I can't get over the tomatoes on pizza thing. That's
To-
why.
To make it hurt your head even more, there's a tomato on the pizza
Yeah, I was gonna
box.
say. Apparently, it's the specialty of this
Well-
particular pizza place.
Well, I honestly don't care about that because they can have whatever they want on the front of the pizza box. It's the pizza I care about.
There's
You wanna
tomatoes
know
on
the-
your pizza anyway. It's called tomato sauce.
You want to know the
Then
part
why
that's
is
really...
there more tomatoes?
Tomatoes
Cat.
are good.
Cat, you want to know the part that's going to hurt you even more?
What?
They're supposed to be vegans, right?
Yeah.
There's cheese on that pizza.
Are they supposed to be vegan?
Are they
Or
supposed to be
just
vegans?
Vegetarian.
They're strictly vegetarian.
Well,
Well,
vegetarian
you can
isn't
have
vegan.
Milk products as a vegetarian.
My best friend is vegetarian. He's actually lactose intolerant, but he loves
It's
milk
vegan.
and ice
you can't do
cream and
that.
cheese and
Huh.
so. Yeah, it's not. That
I don't know. I mean, it's never really been specified specifically what they do with the cows.
They
That's true.
get milk from them.
Milk.
But how would they
What
make
about the
cookies
pigs?
and stuff like that though? Like think about that for a second. Like they like make cakes, pastries, and stuff like that.
Yeah, those
And
need dairy
Just kind of
products.
need milk and things.
And eggs.
Yeah.
You want to know the one that hurts even more? What's the saddle that Twilight puts on in the winter wrap-up made of?
leather.
Yeah. So, do they kill the cows and use their hides?
Are you sure it's leather?
It might not be
It was definitely
Are you
a
sure
leather.
It can't be like cloth
could-
or something.
It could be imitation leather.
I guess still. Anyway, this is not what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, we're getting way off topic here.
Does
No,
anybody
this is
have
definitely
anything
a
they want to
topic.
add? Does anything have anything they want to add about Maud's autism?
Modatism.
Autism.
I see what you did there.
I'll be going.
She's on her own goddamn spectrum.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. It rocked. Badump tish. That's my mod impression. Hashtag like, share, and subscribe down below. Okay, so
Horrible. You didn't even do a rock poem.
rocks. They are very rocky. Made of stone. I like stones. Stones are hard. Like my... Okay, so, anyway, our next topic is Pinky's attempts to get Starlight X mod to float.
Well, who doesn't like kites?
Hey man, I was gonna talk about kites a little bit. I guess I'll put that picture up.
I
now.
would like to... I would like to point out, she does kind of inhale like she was going to say something else. Aww.
I just want to say how absolutely adorable this couple is, and how much they've rocketed to the top of my top OTPs.
I was
Can't
going to
beat
hiss
Pinky
at
X
you.
Grover.
I was going to hiss at you for saying that you really like this, and then you said rocketed, and I can't hate you for it. Because you made a
Go ahead,
pun.
I can hold all the grudge.
You made a pun without even realizing you made a pun.
I am denouncing you, Ember.
Oh.
Denouncing.
Oh.
I'm not a huge fan of this, but like I was saying, her different attempts were definitely hilarious. Like the derpy one. The derpy one was probably my favorite, where she randomly throws a pizza at Derpy.
I mean, look how cute they are. Look at this. No, it broke my heart practically when Mod smiled at her.
Ah!
That was very cute.
Don't break my OTP! Trixie X Starlight forever!
Look, this is just a fan art, but look at this smile in the actual screenshot of the show. Look at this.
Ah, she's giving him a bedroom
She
eyes
smiled.
too.
She's
How dare she
How you
give?
tip away the bedroom eyes out of all the things.
Those are definite. Mod has perpetual bedroom eyes. If any character in this show has ever had perpetual bedroom eyes, it's Maud.
If it's perpetual bedroom eyes, then the term bedroom eyes loses its meaning with her.
Look how much
They're
fun
just
they're having with the
eyes.
kites.
You forgot to bite your lip and inhale. Kites.
She was totally gonna say something else. So it is actually my headcanon. I'm just going to say this outright. I really, if they ever do like a lesbian story, I want it to be Starlight that comes out. And the reason for this isn't so she can be shipped with Trixie, No. What I want is I want her to come out as a lesbian and Twilight doesn't know how to deal with it. And I want that, and here's the and just again, listen, I want them to do it in a way where she comes out, right? Not necessarily to Twilight. That's not really a like she's in love with Twilight thing. Make it where she's either in love with Trixie or Maud. Yes, I'm sort of starting to get into this ship. Leave me alone. But make it where she comes out as a lesbian and she says maybe to Trixie that I actually think I like you. And Trixie thinks, well, I like you too. Thinking that she just means as friends, right? And that's when, Starlight says, no, I mean, I actually really like you. I pulled a Hey Arnold there. But she comes out saying that she actually likes Trixie in that way. Trixie freaks out because she doesn't know how to deal with that. And now Starlight is having an exponential crisis because she just came out to her best friend and her best friend basically rejected her, right? So she goes to Twilight for advice. Naturally, Twilight, who would know nothing about the subject because she's totally not lesbian. Hashtag Flash Century.
They're all lesbians. All of them.
She doesn't know how to console Starlight. I'm sure they'd find a way to resolve it. Well, in the end, Trixie comes back and says that where she cannot reciprocate the feelings, she fully understands that it is Starlight's right to have them, and it makes her no less her friend. And then you can have Starlight go hit on Maud, and Maud's totally cool with it, and they start dating, and
That's fair.
yeah. But yes, I feel like that would be a great way for them to out a character and show kids, that it's okay if you have a gay or lesbian or bisexual friend, and that there's no, real reason to reject them or be disgusted by them. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it would be perfect. And like I said, Starlight's actually the perfect one to do this with, because of not just all the shipping with her, but because she's Twilight's student. And here you're introduced to a friendship lesson that even Twilight wasn't prepared for. And let's face it, that bitch prepares for everything. So, yeah, you get this really good friendship problem. You get all this stuff, and yeah, you can out a character and let that continue. And then in the end, she keeps her best friend and maybe gains a girlfriend in one of her other friends. And you can have subtle little things like you see Maud and her in the background, Trixie being the third wheel because Trixie is Trixie. I know a lot of people, though, who if they did that with Starlight, they'd be pissed because that means Sunburst will never, or was it Sunlight? Yes.
Hey.
It means Sunlight would never happen.
Yeah. She can swing both ways.
Starburst.
I was gonna say,
That's
I
what
don't
it's
think Trixie would end up being too much of a third wheel, because the popular fan theory is that Maud actually knows Trixie, and here's why.
Well, yeah, because of the rock farm.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying Trixie would not be a third wheel, because, well, Trixie hates wheels.
She'd be a fourth wheel next to Sunburst.
Trixie X Sunburst?
No. Starlight X Mod X Trixie X Sunburst.
I don't like it. I don't. I can't. Ooh, it opens up the door for Twilight to question her own sexuality, and then she goes to Trixie. Hashtag Twixie.
So there's now a fifth wheel? This part is starting to turn into a train. Just saying.
Okay, so does anyone have anything they want to add about Starlight X Mod / Pinky trying to get them together?
It was kind of cute. That's all I have to say.
I like how originally I wanted this to be about Pinky's attempts, but even I couldn't keep it on that topic.
Yeah.
Curse you and your adorable pictures!
If this was a ship and you were the captain, we'd be lost in the Bermuda Triangle.
Curse you, Maud, and your adorable smile! Curse you, Ingrid Nilsson!
And now suddenly you are JFK.
Curse you, Ingrid Nilsson! How dare you give Maud such an adorable voice? This is where I wish Phaser was here so that he could point out that he met her in real life and that she hit on him.
Wait, what?
He could tell the story better. It's not so much she hit on him. It's not so much she hit on him as she asked him to dance at a party. Like, he was at an after party for a convention she was at, and she just came up to his group and asked if they wanted to dance. Which, naturally, Phaser being a fool, he didn't really realize who it was. Anywho, like I said, he could tell the story better, and naturally he's
Onwards to Gastly Gorge.
Onwards to the Gastly Gorge!
Okay, so...
Radio?
So, can I just be the first to comment how, like, Ma's just like, like, she's just in the mouth of a fucking eel, and it's just sort of there. She's just like,
yeah.
Speaking of fetishes...
You're right?
Yeah. We're getting into all kinds of fetishes today.
Yeah, it's weird.
I honestly feel like there's some kind of fetish artist working for My Little Pony now. Because in this episode we had a random screenshot of Pinky.
It's the YouTube drama leading into the show.
And now we have a Vore fetish. But yes, no, like her just casually hanging out in the mouth of the eel and not even caring?
I don't think she noticed, to be honest.
Yeah. She seems kind of rock tunneled.
Oh, I remember something random I wanted to talk about with the Pinky thing. I'm an idiot. Backtracking a little bit, can we talk about the fact that Maud is technically the one that doomed an entire village?
Yeah, just dooming an entire village to slavery, just, you know.
Wait, what?
In the episode, Pinky finds out that Maud and Starlight already know each other and that they've known each other for years. Or at least a year, however the hell long has passed. This show is weird. At least let's just say a couple years. They've known each other for a couple years, right? And she points out that Maud is the one that directed her to where the stone was that she kept all the cutie marks
the
in.
Flashback.
To which Pinky immediately responds with, "Let's never mention that ever again."
Yeah. That was pretty great.
Her expressions during that whole sequence were fucking beautiful.
And then Maud just sort of like it's not like she's done it recently or anything.
Yeah, it's not like she did it recently.
And that also brought on my favorite line probably in the whole show at this point is rocks take on different properties when interacting with magic. With the right stone, you could rule all of Equestria if you wanted to. You're messing with me.
With me. Yeah, you're messing with me. Am I? Yes. Maud is a freaking evil genius.
It's her Bond villain.
Just the completely serious look that Maud gives back. You're messing with me.
No, and then the look she gives back is is just fucking beautiful. You gotta, like, I swear to God, I hope at some point Maud is somehow a villain or antagonist. I mean, she technically was in her intro movie, or video, her intro episode, she was kind of an antagonist, in that the others weren't getting along with her. Antagonism takes on several forms, ladies and gentlemen. Always remember that. Tip your waitress. I don't know why I said that last bit, but yes, no, that line was what I wanted to talk about. Thank you, Ember. Thank you.
Always remember to spay and neuter.
Spay and neuter your mods before they breed again? Oh, I also like how she used Boulder to get them out of the fucking cave.
Speaking of Boulder, did you know he's a lumberjack?
Is Boulder a lumberjack?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, I missed.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
he wear a cardigan?
Yeah, that little adorable thing.
Man, I love Maud.
Just like for the kind of character she is, she's really good.
Mm-hmm. And they're getting better with their character too.
Yep.
What are you talking about, Pinky? I already made a friend. Is it a rock? Yes. She doesn't even hesitate. It's not even a pause. She just immediately says yes. I also like how when they do the stereotypical, they're hanging over the edge, and you think like if they let go, they'll die.
Yeah. With the wind blowing and everything.
This way. No, Maud! Or no, it's like, I understand now, Maud. Da, da, da. No, Pinky, I mean this way. Drops down onto the floor. Who did it better, My Little Pony or the Smurfs? I'm gonna go with My Little Pony. Screw you, Smurfs the Lost Village. You're not as clever as you think you are. Granted, that's been a joke in things for years. In fact, I'm pretty sure Pony already did it at least once. But yeah, that was just a great little...
I can't think of any time.
Well, didn't they do it in the Griffin episode?
No, they those were literally perilous. Like, Endless Void perilous.
Ah, yeah, that's true. I swear they had a part where Pinky was hanging off an edge, and it turned out she was like right there. She could have just dropped down.
I mean, Pinky jumped off a ledge with rope.
Well, I mean, it's Pinky. I'm pretty sure she could have just jump cutted her way up to the top. You know, one of these days, it's going to be revealed in the series that Pinky has been an alicorn this whole time. Or, oh my god, guys, headcanon. Pinky is actually part of Celestia spying on Twilight.
What?
Well, think about it. She has all these powers and all these properties that are akin to teleporting, much like an alicorn. She can break the fourth wall at any given time, and she was the first pony that Twilight encountered in Ponyville. Oh, come on! It's funny. All right, well, this is now the time in the episode where I ask everybody's consensus on what they thought of the episode. I used a big word there. All righty, let's go ahead and start with you, Mr. Catnick.
Oh, I guess I liked it. I was gonna watch it, but then I got distracted and I didn't watch it. So, I mean, I'm going off of like months old memory here, but I remember liking it.
Same.
I remember laughing a lot.
Shame.
I remember it being cute.
Walk of shame. Hazel horsewhip him.
Oh.
But no.
Make
I'll
sure
stick his cat on him.
Make sure he doesn't eat for at least 3 days.
But my cat is
Okay.
fuzzy and likes to snuggles and also has a cone on her head.
But she'll keep you up too.
That she probably would, yes.
Alrighty, Ember, your opinions.
Not gonna lie, the first time I watched this episode was at the end of a long marathon of watching episodes, and I guess I didn't pay that much attention to it because I didn't remember it all that well. I didn't dislike it at that time, but rewatching it today, and specifically going through to find screenshots and stuff, I had to pay attention. It is definitely one of my favorite episodes of not only the season, but the entire history of the show.
Wow.
Like, it is so good in my book.
Hazel, stop posting weird things. And also give us your opinion.
That's perfectly normal.
I don't think you want the yelling.
Hazel, your opinion.
Her.
People are yelling. Yes, I felt that about the episode too. Hazel is unable to give their opinion on the episode at this time.
Hazel says it was a good episode. Full stop.
Hazel is typing.
We should.
At this time, Hazel is typing a novel.
I liked it a lot, and it's in the top 10 of the ones I've watched so far. Tongue out, smiley face emoji.
You guys are liking this episode a lot.
Well, of course.
So I'm going to break the tide and say I absolutely hated this episode.
I mean, is it really a tie? Because 3 out of 4 liked it.
I didn't say tie. I said like.
Oh.
So I'm going to break... Oh, I said tide. I'm going to break the tide, Cat, not tie. Break the tide. By saying that I absolutely hated this episode because it broke my favorite ship, Starlight X Trixie Forever.
But I changed your mind, didn't I?
I don't want to talk about it. All right, in all honesty, I like the episode. I wouldn't say it's in my top 10. I wouldn't say it's one of the best I've ever seen, but it was definitely one of the betters of this season, which is saying a lot because this season has had some doozy episode.
You're talking about in the future, not just the past 4 that we've watched so far.
Right.
Out of what we've watched so far, it's definitely up at the top.
I was going to say, so far, yeah, no, this is definitely the best episode that didn't have Trixie in it. But, oh, come on, I'm biased. You know if Trixie's involved, it's instantly going to be a favorite with me.
Unless it's like one episode.
Wait, what one episode?
Didn't you hate the last one she was in?
No. I didn't hate it, remember? I said I ended up rewatching it and actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think that was all of our opinions.
Like, at first it was bad, but then I was like, I rewatched it, I was like, oh, actually, this is pretty good. Well, that's actually how I felt with this episode. Originally, when it first aired, I was like, okay.
No, you weren't, you were. God damn it, they ruined my ship.
I do not remember that. But no, when I first watched it, I was like, cute. I never really thought about it as Starlight X mod until I saw this GIF that came out that was the picture I was going to send you, actually, Ember. Hold on one second. Let me do this real quickly while I'm talking. But I actually did enjoy the episode this second viewing to do these... to do this episode with. Yes. English! I have it!
Don't worry, I struggle with that too.
And it's, it was a lot of fun. It was a good episode. And we're scrolling. I have a lot of pictures on my phone. There it is! Okay, it's going up onto the Nerds Talking thing now. This was the GIF that I was talking about. I never really thought about them as a couple. Or not GIF, but picture. I never really thought of them as a couple until I saw this. Warning, Starlight will steal your girl. And before anybody calls shenanigans on having a Starlight / sunset picture on there, no, that is not from a future episode that actually happened this season. It's actually from a Equestria Girls short. So,
I mean, she's probably less bad than Brad. Or
Brad.
Chad.
Fuck that guy.
When everyone called freaking
Brad. They called him Brad, not Chad.
Fuck them both anyway.
You mean Flash? Savior of the universe?
Chad, yes.
His name wasn't Chad. They called him Brad.
They still call him Brad.
All right, so if that's everybody's opinions on the episode, we're going to continue on to the next part of Nerd with Ember and the news.
All right, we spent a lot of time on ponies, so we got to keep this last portion kind of short. But I'm about to talk about something extremely important. So if you are watching the stream or you're watching us on YouTube, you need to stop whatever the fuck you're doing right now and listen.
Stop it, motherfuckers, and listen! Go ahead.
Right now, we're fighting for net neutrality once again. On December 14th, the FCC will vote. What you need to do on screen right now are the 5 members of the FCC leadership. Ignore Ajit Pai. Just don't even, because he's not going to change his mind, obviously. What you need to do is email, fax, call these other 4 people. These other 4 people are key. Get them to vote against repealing net neutrality. Because if we lose net neutrality, we are in danger as the co-hosts of Nerds Talking. We are in danger as the staff of Brony TV. If this passes, there is a very high chance that all of this will go away. There is a very high chance that all of the things that you enjoy on the internet will go away. Contact these people. Get them to vote against.
I would be completely honest with you here, and I fully agree. Contact these people as best you can. Get them to vote against it. However, I will want to point out, this is like the 3rd time this has come up, and every time it gets slammed. So
Hold on.
I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying don't. It's important, guys. It is.
This one is actually a bit different because the last time, the last time we were in a completely different administration. Now we're in a pro-corporate administration where Trump is actively pushing a pro-corporate bills through Congress, and he's appointed people who are going to be supportive of giving corporations more breaks, more money, and more freedom to do what they want with the populace. And right now we're seeing that come to a head with the internet, but we're also seeing it come out with a tax plan that he's coming out with, and like where they've just now snuck in the ability to drill for oil in the Arctic Wildlife Reserve and stuff like that. That's what they're sneaking into the tax bill right now, in fact.
And that's not to mention previous attempts of sneaking into something to medical provisions and stuff.
So like this whole thing is really bad, and we're in for a really bad time regardless of how this goes. But this is something that's going to be important to a lot of people, and fighting for the freedom of everyone in the future. So
speaking of the tax bill, by the way, the tax bill was given out to the members of Congress 3 fucking hours before the vote. 3 hours. Do you want to know how thick the fucking thing was? Half a foot thick of paper.
Yeah.
You want to know how it was written? Handwritten notes on the side that you could barely read. How the hell are they going to be able to get through that in time to be able to vote on that?
That's the same.
They're not.
And every single one of the Republicans, except for one, is going to be voting for it. And that means it will pass.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, we're in a very bad political place right now in America. So if you're not American and you're listening to us, I'm sorry that you're gonna have to put up with the fuckery that's gonna come out of America for the next.
As far as the FCC goes,
just bring your sniper rifle.
As far as the FCC goes, if net neutrality does get repealed, that will affect not just the U.S., but it will affect everybody. You want to know how? I will tell you how.
It'll raise prices on everyone.
Because your favorite content creators will lose a lot of their viewers from the U.S. if they are not in the U.S. themselves. If they are in the U.S. themselves, forget about it. Because how are they going to get the content to you?
Yeah, because as it is, like, we already have to deal with data caps and stuff like that, and that'll only get worse if net neutrality goes away, because now they're going to put data caps on your content providers. So like now, like, Comcast isn't up for fucking with Google because Google can fight back. Google is their own ISP, so like Google can just be like, okay, well, you guys, now your subscribers can't use our service, so guess what? your subscribers will stop using you. Fuck you, and that's it. So stuff from YouTube and stuff like that will be largely unaffected. But like we've already seen it happen with Netflix, where Comcast owns Hulu, so they're gonna want to prefer their users to use Hulu, so they'll throttle Netflix down because they can, and they'll make Netflix pay them to allow their users to actually use their site the way they intended it. So,
by the way, don't listen to these companies when they tell you that they will not enact any new rules under the repeal of net neutrality.
Comcast has already taken back their.
Yeah. Case in point, just recently AT&T put out a statement saying that they have never and they never will block or slow down any services or apps. That is actually completely not true, because they have in the past blocked FaceTime in favor of their own. There was a debacle a while ago with I don't know if you've ever heard of what is it? Not Android Pay, but Google Wallet. If you you've probably heard that Google Wallet is absolutely shit. Guess what? It wasn't, because the perception was that way because all of the major cell phone companies tried to block it, or not try. They did block it in favor of their own services.
They actually had a group service called ISIS Wallet, and this is the name is kind of ironic. But Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile all had got. I remember if it's T-Mobile, but Verizon and AT&T had gone together to create a unified wallet system for all of their users to use, and they were trying to promote it. So they blocked Google Wallet, and it's called ISIS Wallet. And this was before ISIS, the terrorist group, got big. And so now they changed the name now, but it kept the name for a while.
Before ISIS Wallet made ISIS.
No.
ISIS Wallet used ISIS Wallet.
I mean, ISIS was a lot of things before it was a terrorist group.
That's true.
It's still called ISIS. It's Archer. Archer had.
I was to say, Archer's group. It was a Greek god, or not a Greek.
But you see what I mean, though. Now it has a bad connotation with it, so they were like, well, we got to rename it now.
Yeah, now it's Google Wallet.
That's also
it's Google Wallet instead of, or what is it?
It's
Android Pay. It's Android Pay now instead of Google Wallet. It's basically the same service. It's just a little bit redesigned and a different name.
I would like to point out.
Away from the old name.
I would like to point out that everything is not bleak. Not everything is bleak. There are actually several.
It's actually
companies.
called Soft Card now.
Oh, they changed it again.
Yeah.
I would like to point out not everything is bleak about this. Now, yes, this is bad. This is very bad, and you need to fight it. However, I would like to point out that there are several groups that are fighting this every way they can, including but not limited to Google, Cox, and AT&T is saying they're fighting it as well.
I just pointed out that AT&T is lying about it.
We can't believe AT&T and Cox is another cable company. So let's take that with a grain of salt. What we can really do is we need to replace Congress. We need to replace everybody anybody who is voting to fuck us over. We really need to start thinking about how to get them replaced and how to campaign against them, because they don't need to still be in office if they're not going to be for what the American people want.
Exactly. If you care about this kind of stuff and you are not out there voting for Congress members who will support your views on this, then you are completely in the wrong, and you need to get the fuck out there.
Sony is fighting it as well.
Fair. Well, Sony has their own services that are probably fixing to have a few issues, like PSVU, that are in direct competition with stuff like Comcast, that is going to be like, guess what, Sony, you got to start coughing up some extra moolah if you want your users to be able to watch our shows and stuff on your service. Anyway, see, the important thing here is that Congress owns the FCC, and it's going to be, if we could get this reversed soon if we put a pro-net neutrality Congress in place, because they can roll back the decision that FCC makes and enforce that, hey, we need this. and that's going to be important because they can so since Congress is who mandates the FCC's direction, they have to follow that. And right now we're kind of screwed because we have a corporatist Congress because it's mostly Republican, and they're unfortunately going to support Trump and his ideas. I'm not really going to get into the politics behind Trump and what's going on, but like it's we're putting too much faith in the companies at this point that have already shown that they're going to fuck us over. And like, as much as I hate to say it right now, like, you know, like the whole loot box controversy in the gaming community, this is a much bigger deal than that ever could be to me right now, because this will change a lot of people's ways of life.
So we're starting to run low in time. So the whole point of this whole conversation,
Blizzard is another company, but I just want to throw that out there.
Get a hold of these people on the screen right now. I will be posting their information in the video description below on YouTube if you're watching there. Vote next year. Next year is voting season.
You mean next year?
Yes, next year.
Yes, next year.
For Congress.
Rotates differently than the president.
Yeah. So that's all we'll say on that for now. We have one last thing. We are going to end on a light note so that we're not kind of, yelling at you guys at the very end. I believe that Kat would like to review a movie.
Okay.
Because no one else did, and I love it so much.
Okay.
So, am I good to go, or did you want to say something before?
You're good.
Go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Movies with Catnick.
So, I would have talked
That's
about
all the time we have for today, folks. I'm sorry. I had to. We don't have lightning, and I needed to. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I would have talked about this last week, but we didn't have a show last week, so I'll talk about it now. I saw Coco, the new movie from Pixar, The Lovable Scamps.
I really hope you mean Coco.
I did say Coco.
You said Go-Go.
I said Coco.
You heard Go-Go. Anyway,
so it's an absolutely fantastic movie that you need to see. It's literally my favorite Pixar movie. It beat Inside Out. It made me cry twice. 2 whole times. I don't even cry that often. Like, legitimate tears.
Do you mean the Pixar movie that followed a 30-minute trailer for Frozen 2?
We're not going to mention that. That didn't happen. That doesn't exist. Just whenever you go to see Coco, go to it 30 minutes late and you'll be fine.
Which makes me sad.
Though if we will talk about that stupid fucking featurette. It was somewhat okay. It was kind of funny.
I hate Olaf with a passion. He can burn in hell.
Unless you hate Olaf, in which case prepare for PTSD.
I will fucking murder if he could.
Yeah, but the story is wonderful, even though it has some cliches that sort of bring it down from the honestly perfect movie it could be. It does wonderful things with certain cliches that I will not mention because Ember will kill me.
Yeah, I'm still planning on going to see this. I have not seen it yet, unfortunately. But
particularly, my favorite thing is the art style.
Spoiler alert, it's a cartoon.
If you've seen The Book of Life, you kind of get the idea for how colorful the movie is going to be. But it does this amazing thing with color where it contrasts the color with the darkness of death and makes it way more bright and joyful than it ever should be, but still as sad and heart-wrenching as it could be.
Spoiler alert, they're skeletons.
And it's all focused around this wonderful, wonderful Mexican culture. The I'm not even gonna pronounce it. The Day of the Dead.
Dia de Mortis.
Dia de Mortis, yes. And it just feels so authentic and beautiful. It makes me want to go to see one of these festivities.
I have.
So I cannot recommend this movie enough. It beat Inside Out as my favorite Pixar movie, and I never thought that was possible.
Assassin's Creed sucked.
We talked about that in Minecraft, though, which is up right now.
I know.
So you can go watch our Minecraft episode to get that.
So yeah.
I just wanted...
Tip, don't get Assassin's Creed Origin, go see Coco.
No, Assassin's Creed Origins is good. I'm enjoying the hell out of that. I meant Assassin's Creed the movie.
Yeah.
Wait, people still
don't get Assassin's Creed Origins on PC.
Don't get
it console because they don't have the crazy
PC, pirate it.
No, don't even pirate it because they still haven't stripped the DRM from it. But
don't get anything on PC right now because even South Park Fractured But Whole is having issues.
I've been playing Civ 5, so...
Man, as a PC player, I'm sad.
And if you buy Battlefront 2 on anything, I officially disown you as a fan.
At least until they remove them for good.
No, just don't even. We need to stop buying EA games entirely. EA needs to suffer.
Yeah, but Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed is by a different company.
Assassin's Creed is Ubisoft.
I keep forgetting that.
About if it's a good
I did this before on the show.
Ubisoft is a close second, but right now I'm more okay with what Ubisoft is doing than the egregious bullshit that EA is pulling off.
Ubisoft good, EA bad.
I mean, Ubisoft is meh.
Ubisoft is less bad.
If we want to do associations with good, let's throw some CD Projekt Red here. Come on.
Okay. We are out of time, guys.
CD Projekt Red love.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for this episode. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I certainly did. That said, go out, vote, get net neutrality to remain in our hands. That's what we want. Yes. Get net neutrality to remain in our hands. Go see Coco. Don't see Assassin's Creed the movie. Play Origins. Don't buy EA games. And remember, Trixie X Starlight is the best ship, and I will fucking fight anybody who tries to convince me otherwise. Bye-bye!
Fight me. Fight me.
Remember to spade and neuter.
And stay tuned! And stay tuned, because we will be doing Minecraft here on Brony TV.
I was gonna say
this has been your host, Nerdy Temmz, with Catnick, Ember, and Hazel.